반갑습니다, 여러분. What's up, everybody? This is Turtleboat, and you're watching an episode of Drawing Time with Turtleboat, drawing show where I talk some shit and you get to see me fucking draw and shit like that. You know what I mean? And today I thought I'd take this time to review a movie I watched recently, the movie Dune. And fuck it, man. I figured I'd just fucking tell you guys the storyline of Dune. So if you already seen the movie, I guess that's fine. But if you haven't watched it, and you're one of my 5 viewers who watch the shit, and you haven't watched it, maybe save it until you watch the movie. So here's the basic plot of Dune. And first off, I feel like I'm kind of too stupid to fucking really appreciate the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a little too fucking artsy-fartsy for me and shit, you know? Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, I don't know, man. It was fucking weird and shit, you know? So here's why I didn't like it. Well, first of all, you got a bunch of these fucking characters. You know, like, these fucking characters are always whispering. You know, it's fucking like, there's this one particular character, the mom, the mom of Timothy Chalamet, this fucking kid. His mom is always whispering her goddamn lines, you know? I watched it on the fucking HBO Max, and I have the dialogue, the subtitles on, obviously. And, you know, that was a good decision, because I didn't even understand what the fuck she was saying. And she's always whispering her fucking lines. She's like, the anger that's possessed me will become the anger that's the spirit will possess me, and then I am stronger than my spirit. I am stronger than all who came before me. I'm like, bitch, shut the fuck up. We're fucking, like, you know, speak up. I don't know what the fuck you're saying, you know. All right, but here's the plot of Dune. All right, this fucking kid, Timothy Chalamet, right, with his mate, fucking Zendaya. You know, Zendaya is like that. She's like that ethnically ambiguous, slightly light-skinned black girl that they hire for every movie, you know, to pair up with the pretty white boys. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I don't want to take away from any talent of Zendaya. You know, I like her stuff. You know, she's good. She's a great actress. But anyway, so here's the plot of fucking Dune. Fucking Timothy Chalamet is part of this fucking space royalty. It was kind of like inspired by the British Empire, I guess. But like he's like a fucking aristocrat. He's not the king. He's like a feudal lord's son, and the feudal lord is played by fucking that guy Oscar something from Star Wars. Oscar de la Hoya. So Oscar de la Hoya is it's the lord of this house, and then they got a decree from the space emperor. They got the decree from fucking space emperor Darth Sidious to be like, all right, you guys gotta go to fucking this sand planet, which is obvious. What the fuck is that called? You know, it's like an obvious allusion to the Middle East, right? So they have to go to fucking space Middle East, and they have to take over space Middle East from another fucking royal family led by this guy named fucking Vladislav. So they got fucking space Russians who has control of space Middle East. So these fucking space British Empire aristocrats need to go over and take over that shit from this fat bald motherfucker whose name is like Vlad or Vladislav. I don't. It's like some fucking like obscure. I don't know. It's like a fucking Russian name. It's like Boris or Vlad. So they gotta take over this fucking. They gotta take over the space spices. Obvious allusion, I guess, to, you know, like opioids were some. If you want to go back in time to like some Genghis Khan shit, I guess it's like some fucking Silk Road type of thing. You know what I mean? And then apparently this fucking spices give you like powers or some shit. Like, so I guess I get why people are saying like Star Wars kind of like took a lot of ideas from Dune, because like I could see that, right? So. Anyway, fucking Timothy Chalamet has a weird-ass mom who always whispering her fucking lines. And she's part of, like, some cult, right? It was like some fucking Illuminati cult who's waiting for the one, right? Waiting for the fucking 4th Hokage to come back and shit, right? So anyway, this fucking royal family is en route to space Middle East. But before they go there, the crazy-ass mom... Here's the best part of the fucking movie. The craziest mom introduces her son, Timothy Chalamet, this fucking random Chinese dude. Fucking Dr. Huang or fucking Wang Fei Hong or some shit. And then the fucking fucking Dr. Huang starts speaking space Mandarin. Like in the subtitles it says in Mandarin, and this motherfucker just starts speaking space Mandarin. What the fuck? That shit threw me off so much. The one Asian character in the whole fucking movie starts speaking in fucking space Mandarin. What the fuck was that, man? That shit really threw me off. I was like, I thought they were in space. I thought they were aliens. Why the fuck is the one Asian guy speaking fucking space Chinese? This is fucking stupid. So what, like all these other people are speaking space English? You know, doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyway, so Timothy Chalamet's character is introduced to some fucking crazy ass old bat, this crazy fucking old lady who got like fishnets over her fucking face. It's not sexy at all. And then she like sticks like a fucking needle next to his neck. And then she's like, hey, if you move, I'm gonna fucking kill your ass. And then she also puts like his hand in like a little creepy fucking box, right? I'm like, what the fuck? You know, like this, you don't know this kid. You just put his hand in a little crazy fucking box. And then she's like, if you move, I'm gonna stab you with this fucking needle. Okay. So then the kid is like a test, right? It's like some fucking Jedi mind trick test. And then the kid doesn't move his fucking neck or hand. And then she's like, all right, you passed the test. And if I was the kid, I would have slapped the fucking shit out of her. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, bitch, like, get the fuck away from me, you crazy ass old bag, you know? But anyway, turns out the mom is part of this fucking Illuminati cult, and the old lady is like the head, and then they're looking for the one, and then they think little Timothy Chalamet is the one, right? So they go to Space Middle East. Here's the part of the movie I really didn't like. Okay. So they go to Space Middle East, and then they got like these Space Middle Eastern people, right? Like with blue eyes for some reason. It's like Space Middle Easterners with blue eyes. You know, it's like space fucking Middle Eastern guys. And they're going like, like inshallah, Irish, only 6 million. Russia, 100 million. It's going fucking all space Khabib and shit, right? They're like, they start worshipping the fucking, the little white kid, Timothy Chalamet. I'm like, all right, that's just like kind of really threw me off, right? And then I'm like, okay, so is this like an allegory for something? You know what I'm saying? It's like a fucking allusion to like a white man's burden, kind of, right? So as I'm looking at this movie, I'm like, all right, so this little kid's the one, and he's what, like fucking Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai? Right? Because all these random space Middle Eastern Habibs, they're like, okay, my friend, you are the fucking one. I'm like, what the fuck? This little pale-ass little kid is the one, apparently, and I don't mean Jet Li, the one. I mean, he's fucking, I don't know what the fuck he is, I just don't know, that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. They kind of really went Tom Cruise Last Samurai on this, Nothing wrong with a white savior, There's plenty of white heroes that I like and love, I love fucking Rocky. I love Rambo, Sylvester Stallone, shit, Jean-Claude. Hey man, if they had Jean-Claude as the one, I wouldn't have a fucking problem. I wouldn't have a fucking problem. Jean-Claude beat the shit out of fucking what's it? Kung Lao? No. Kimbo? No, Jean-Claude beat the shit out of the fucking buff ass Asian dude in Kickboxer. The white dude learned Muay Thai to kick the shit out of some random Korean guy who's supposed to be Thai, but he's actually Chinese. Hey, look, man. I'm okay with that, It was a great fucking movie. Whatever, but anyway, back to the main story. I just thought that shit was kind of weird. Where all these space Habibs all of a sudden just start worshipping this little pale-ass Timothy Chalamet. Anyway, long story short, the space Russians, led by the bald Vladislav with the wrestler Batista, they start like, killing shit. They assassinate the guy from Star Wars, Oscar de la Hoya, and I kind of skipped around at this part because everybody was just talking really quietly, and it just seemed very like indie film-ish. So fucking the guy from fucking Star Wars, the fucking Oscar de la Hoya, he's like butt ass naked and he's like dead. Where I forgot the part. He's dead. Where he's like semi dead, and the bald Russian guy with the English accent, he's just like eating And he's like, oh, this part of the movie was kind of creepy. It's because it was kind of cool. Like he like floats in like a really cool way. Like he just like floats. Like he's like really fat, right? So you wouldn't expect him to float, but he starts floating. Oh, by the way, Aquaman and fucking Thanos is also in this movie, but they kind of like die like really quickly. So it's like, you know, you guys are kind of really throwing away your star power over here, you know? So long story short, Timothy Chalamet and his mom, they escape, and then they're out in the fucking desert, and then they have to like change into like their little desert suit. And this part of the movie is really weird. So the mom is like, she's not like a MILF, but like, you know, like she could get it, I guess, right? She's not like that old. Like, she looks all right. She looks pretty good. But then like they need to like get butt ass naked to switch into these little space desert suits, and then just like this part of the movie, which is really weird. Like Timothy Chalamet, he just starts getting butt ass naked, and he starts like, you know, like switching to a stupid ass. Actually, this part wasn't stupid. Like this really cool looking like sand armor from the fucking space Habibs. And then the mom just like needs to get butt ass naked too, but then she's like embarrassed, kind of like they show the scene. It's like really fucking weird and intimate. Like she's like embarrassed, so she kind of turns around, and then she's like, "Oh, I don't want to get naked in front of my son." Like that kind of vibe, you know? It's like weird, like some fucking weird like Pornhub stepmom vibe. It was fucking weird. All right, I did not like that part of the movie, you know. Anyway, fucking so they're like traveling in the space desert and shit, and fucking they meet up with Zendaya's crew, which are like the native space Habibs, and you know, and they're cool, man. They're like fucking they're like doing their thing. And the fuck, oh yeah, but then there's like this random black dude who like really, you know, I guess he didn't like the fact that like they accepted this random fucking little white boy Timothy Chalamet into the group, so he challenges him to a fucking Agni Kai or fucking Kumite. So this fucking random black dude's like, all right, I'm gonna challenge you to a Kumite because you're a fucking little scrawny ass white kid. I'll probably beat the shit out of you. And you think he would, but he doesn't, because they have like these weird laser swords. They're not a laser, but here's the part where I also thought was kind of stupid, where they have this weird technology where you have like a force field thing, and then if you hit somebody in the part that it didn't deal damage, like they have it shines blue, but then if you have a lethal strike, it shines red. And I'm like, that's like some fucking video game logic. Like why are you having a video game logic in this really serious and they play it straight, right? They play it straight, so it's kind of weird. Anyway, long story short, the black space Habib gets fucking stabbed by Timothy Chalamet, and then Zendaya's like, oh, like I don't know, I guess like her pussy starts twitching or something, and she's like, oh, this boy, she's, you know, like she fucking got the house for him, and that was the movie. And you don't see the little you don't see that big ass sandworm with the, you know, with the butt, you know, with the fucking anal face. I just remember that's also a monster from Final Fantasy X. In the desert area, after you escape from the fucking temple, and you fucking get stranded in the desert island for a little bit before you have to go to the Al-Bed's hometown. Anyway, that's kind of a side note, but anyway, yeah, that's the story of Dune, movie 1. If you want to hear more of my ignorant fucking plot summaries, please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you very much. All right, take it easy, guys. Bye bye.